Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia. Munton here with the Good Morning Portugal show, podcast, and a Substack. There's something missing from that, and it was an alegria. Hola, bon dia, alegria, of course, a joyful noise unto the Creator this morning, and great to be here on this sunny morning here in Portugal. I'm in the Silver Coast, central Portugal, and my guest this morning, Aviva, who I spoke to last, I think, actually, it was about 8 weeks ago, almost to the day, when we began talking about the New Beginnings Expat Support Group. She's back because we're going to be, she is going to be launching it. Nice big round of applause. Aviva, great to see you.
Hi.
We've got good news. You've got good news for us this morning.
Yes, I have good news.
All right. Well, before we get into that, how are you? Where you been? How's it going in Madeira?
Madeira's good. It's finally getting warm. We had a long, rainy winter, so we're really happy to see the sun again.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the sun. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So you too. So even over there on Madeira, similar situation, damp and wet and cold.
Yeah, it was cold this winter.
Amazing, amazing. And my message to everybody, I do a little message every morning with the weather, the currencies, and who's coming up on the show. And we did the Madeiran weather. I'll give you a Madeiran weather forecast, if I may. You've got a 69% chance of rain, and a low of 9 and a high of 15 today. That's your weather.
with clouds and sun and clouds and sun.
It's a bit like that. It's very changeable, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. And Bali, I think you've been to Bali. How was that? I bet the weather was nice there, wasn't it?
Bali was super hot, but it was amazing because it's such a different culture and the people are great, and it's hard to be bored because everywhere you look, there's these beautiful temples and lovely people and lovely food, and it was a great trip. I mean, it's Southeast Asia and all that goes along with that, with the crowds and the traffic and all of that. But, we had a great time. And I think somewhere in Southeast Asia is worth a trip for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There's something about it, isn't there? It is the sort of mirror image of our psyche, isn't it? And very interesting you say that despite the noise and hubbub, it's all about going within, isn't it? And the peacefulness that people are attracted to as well in Thailand and Bali and other sort of sacred places in the Far East.
I think these places are getting a little, feeling the strain of the huge amount of tourists that are coming.
Okay.
And they're a little stressed, but they maintain their culture, and that's what we go for.
Yes.
And we can be a little respectful. That goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. Now, this will be one of the things you'll be talking about here, I suspect, people's experience of being in Portugal for the first time or in their early months and years. And if I may, just to set the scene, I've got 30 seconds of our last conversation. Actually, it's not our conversation. There is a whole video of our conversation, about 30 minutes. This is 30 seconds when I was just setting it up, which I think just will set the scene for the discussion we're about to have and the wonderful news that you've got, the tangible news about the launch of this project. So let me just play 30 seconds of video. Oh, and I've got a lovely new program tonight for you as well. It's the 4th Monday of the month, which means we have wine at 8:30. Jackie, are you there? And beforehand at 8, we've got Aviva, who's announcing her new service, which is a fabulous service, and it is an expat support group, a New Beginnings it's called, which is a lovely name. And you can have a new beginning wherever you are in the journey to Portugal, of course, can't you? And I'll be talking to her at 8 o'clock this evening. Really looking forward to talking to Aviva at 8. Now, we had that conversation. That was the 24th of March. And check this out. Nearly 2 months to the day, you've got a launch date. It's happening. Tell us more about that.
Okay, it's happening June 12th at around 7 o'clock. 7
Beautiful.
o'clock.
Wonderful.
Depending on the number of participants, it can go an hour and a half, or up to 2 hours. If we have 3 to 5, it'll be between an hour and a half. If we have 8, it'll be probably around 2 hours to give everybody a reasonable chance to discuss their issues. So that's my conception of it. And it's a semi-open group. What I mean by it is I'd like to keep it to about 8, maybe max 10. And that will give everybody the opportunity to feel like they're part of something intimate.
Mm.
And then as people leave, more people can come in as the slots open. And I think that will be the best way to meet the needs of the participants.
Love
So,
having this as part of our community. This is really wonderful. And what need, just to rewind a little bit, what need are you meeting with this group? Who might be interested in attending?
right, this is a support group, meaning it isn't a therapy group that is addressing specific mental health issues, diagnosis, or addictions or anything like that. What it is, it doesn't mean you can't bring up some issues in terms of feeling a little down or feeling anxious. What it
Mm.
does mean is it's the true word of support. People can come in an intimate setting, in a safe setting, where it is confidential. We're hoping that you don't go around talking about it after you participate. People might be sharing very personal things, to discuss concerns in a way that, especially being a new expat, you're meeting new people. You're not going to bring up these problem issues with somebody you barely know. But in a support group, that's what its purpose is. You can come, you can talk about all these emotional feelings that you're having and things that maybe you brought with you that are still unresolved in terms of the mainland of US or the UK or wherever you're from. And this will be an accepting support group just for that purpose. You're not going to do that with a new friend over coffee. That wouldn't be appropriate.
I bet people have.
I bet people have, but it's hard to establish friendships, long-term friendships that way.
It is, isn't it? Do you fancy meeting for another coffee? No, I'm busy. After
Yeah.
last time. No, but on a serious note, this is very important. Do you wish you had something like this yourself, or maybe you did, or maybe you have ways of dealing with such matters? But do you wish this was there when you arrived?
I think, yeah. I think even if this is not an indication that you're mentally unstable or anything, and that there's nothing pejorative about it.
No.
It's really about having a place to come and say, I feel all over the place. I feel unsettled. I feel like maybe I made a bad choice, or I'm confused, or I'm going through a divorce and it's really interfering with X, Y, and Z. Any of those things that are in your life and is really hard to talk about with strangers, this is the place. And so one of the safeguards that I've put in place is, if before we choose the participants or the participants choose me, we will do one phone call. You'll send me by email your phone number, and I'll call you, and we'll have a basic phone call to see if this group will meet your needs. And hopefully in a week or so, I'll have resources, a resource list, and can provide at least basic clinic information or anything like that, that if this group doesn't meet your needs, maybe there'll be other options for you. And those people who feel like, yeah, this is the kind of group I've been looking for, then we'll agree to work together, and we'll start on June 12th at 7 o'clock. And there will be a nominal 75 euro fee for the duration of the group, just so you show some commitment to the group.
Fair enough.
And at that point, it will evolve to the needs of the group members. The group members will decide the format, the group norms, any of those things.
Very
So
good.
I will be the facilitator. I'll keep things from running off the rails and from people taking too much time talking over other people. That will be my role. My role will not be to be a therapist for anybody. It will just be a, a facilitator, meaning I might step in if it gets a little bit toxic and sort of redirect the group, but generally speaking, I will not be providing treatment. That's not its purpose.
Okay, very
So
good. No,
that's
no intervention. Now, may I share your email on the screen so that people can get in touch with you?
sure.
Okay. Now, I just want to make sure I've got it right as well. So it's avivaanew, 2 A's in the middle there, at outlook.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Great. And that's lovely. Anew. So this is a chance to really get some help and support starting your life anew in Portugal. And I asked you, didn't I, if you'd have had hoped for this service, and you mentioned, the things that come up for people, like, I might have made a wrong decision, or I'm not enjoying this. May or may not be a divorce involved. But most of these things, people do have these thoughts, don't they? Let's face it. Let's be honest about this. This comes up, and people have different ways of dealing with it. But here's a very healthy way, I would say, a very obvious and healthy way of dealing with such emotional turbulence, or just the merest whiff of like, oh, well, that's a bit uncomfortable. This is the sort of thing that can be brought to the group, right?
A key thing that's very important to know is the purpose of almost all groups is so that somebody can hear somebody else echo the exact same thing they're thinking and feeling. And then they realize, oh, I'm not the only one who feels this
Wonderful.
way. And
Yes.
that's the idea of the support, realizing, oh, we're in this together.
Yep.
And that makes all the difference. When you start realizing that maybe what you're experiencing is kind of a phase, kind of really normal, instead of you thinking, oh, what's wrong with me? It's maybe the process that everybody goes through. And I think there's a great misunderstanding. If you're too isolated, that's likely to happen. And the whole idea is to come together, to support each other, and to help people either adjust, or in some cases may make decision, no, this really isn't right for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, yeah, no holds barred, as it were, but able to discuss anything in this confidential and supportive
Right.
environment. Absolutely love it. And what another thing I really love that's become obvious to me in working with people in the way that I do is this can kind of nip things in the bud as well. What I've noticed about being a foreigner and migration, it's a bit like alcohol and money. It's an amplifier of experience. And we know what that's like with alcohol, and I think we can appreciate it with money. Like money enables, doesn't it? Now, being in a foreign country and a new environment also amplifies things, amplifies feelings. It amplifies very good feelings, but also I think it can amplify when things go a little bit as toxic as you said, and the things that you might have been able to face back in your old country. A little bit of a bureaucratic difficulty, somebody cutting you off in the traffic, the proverbial situation, and then missing people back home. These things, like three little problems like that, might have been manageable in your old life, but when they compound and you haven't got an outlet for them and they're not being dealt with, I think it can bear very heavy, and it can become even probably more profound and have more of an effect than it might ordinarily have. Do you recognize that?
Yes, that's totally true. All your coping mechanisms are being challenged.
Yeah.
And sometimes especially when I first got here, sometimes the simplest thing can cause you to go into emotional tailspin.
Yes, exactly.
Simplest of things, like how to operate my washing machine, could be
Yes.
the last straw of a day of ridiculous bureaucratic nonsense.
Yeah.
And you're in tears and you think, I'm losing my mind, but it's not true. It's what I came down to that helped me survive was one thing a day, one
Yeah.
goal a day,
Yeah.
and not try to overload it, because at least in the US, people have a list of to do. The to-do list when you first get here is one thing a day.
It's such good advice, and this it is something to watch out for, this compounding effect, because once you've lost it and you're in tears, it's very difficult to see then, isn't it? I mean, literally, but you know, once you've gone in a downward spin, you can lose a sense of perspective and the tools and resources you need to help yourself. And I tell you what, as well, Aviva, what I've just remembered is it doesn't go away. I've been here 7, nearly 8 years. And I was in one of these situations where I really should have taken your advice, one thing a day. And we were back for, I think, our 4th or 5th visit to the bank to sign some security sign-offs. This is not something I initiated. They made me go back to, you can hear how offended I am by this already. They had me go back and forth and then say, sorry, no, not today, or you haven't got the right bit of paper for the thing they asked me to do. And we, on the 5th visit or something, the lady who we were dealing with looked up from the counter and said, I'm sorry, I can't do it today. And I just got red mist immediately. And I nearly went into full New Yorker, like, you gotta be kidding me. Right. And I did my version of that because I'm not a New Yorker and I'm not very, I don't tend to lose it in public situations, very British, but it was enough. I said, look, come on, really? And Louisa looked at me as like, this is out of character for Carl. And I caught her glance at me, and that was enough to know I was like losing it. And I just regulated myself in that moment. But these things continue to happen. This is like 7, nearly 8 years later. So this is a great service. And it's not just for new arrivals, is it? This is for anybody who's feeling that pressure or strain, presumably.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a citizen yet, but I think you're always going to be a little bit of an outsider because you do come from a very different culture. You do speak a very, your mother tongue is not Portuguese. Yeah. You don't see the world exactly as, maybe your local friends would see it. That's okay. I mean, that's why we came here. We didn't come here for the same. We came here for the interesting culture that Portugal offers, and good, bad, and indifferent. I mean, it's not always going to be great. It's sometimes exasperating. And yes, I think that the key words would be patience, humility, and a good sense of humor.
Absolutely right. You're definitely talking. And actually, I made a bad thing good, as it were. As I was there, I was thinking, like, it's all content. That's always a very reassuring thing for me. Like, it's all content. This might be helpful, my experience, to others here. And one of the first things I came up with as a result of the not so great feelings you get in the new culture is the power of now, as in being told no in Portuguese, the power of now. And the next thing I've come up with is mindfulness, learning how to queue up and waiting as a spiritual practice. So mindfulness is coming soon in the Portugal resident. Last word to you, Aviva. We've run out of time here, but I wish you and everybody taking part in this the best of British, and how it's going to be nourishing, it's going to be supportive, and I think it's a fantastic thing you're bringing to the expat community. So thank you for that. Last word to you.
It's just something that came from my heart. I really want to offer this in sincerity to others because I know that there are people in need of this, and that was my real motivation for starting the group.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Bon dia, bon fin de semana. Great to see you, and all the best with it. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to